very interesting diagram is given. You need to read this passage and then answer it. A baby drank milk from a bottle. The milk contained nutrients such as carbohydrate and proteins inside the baby's body. Organs such as stomach and intestine break the nutrient into smaller particles. Okay, they are absorbed by blood and delivered to the body cell, baby cell. Here, they will use it to build new molecules and provide energy. What two organs are directly interact to carry out the functions described in the passage? Which, okay, okay, you can. Let me just minimize it a bit. Okay, I'm sorry, it's still bigger. Have you read it? Not yet. Okay. So which two systems would be involved for the processes given in the passage? Yeah, because it needs blood. Okay. And the second, where the milk is broken down? Digestive, yes. So circulatory and digestive system would be involved. Okay, the next thing is if bacteria enter the body through a wound or a cut. It triggers an inflammatory response. This type of response begins with increased blood flow to the infected area. The blood vessels expand and immune cells move from the vessel, and these phagocytes engulf and destroy the bacteria. Okay, which two systems are most directly interact to carry out the function? Oh, all the options, okay. Okay, first of all, immune system would be damaged. Okay, it's written immune system, so definitely phagocytes are there. But how are these phagocytes transported? It's written A, so it's not D, it's A. Okay, okay, let's move to the next system. So it's reproductive system. Have we discussed the endocrine system, the hormones and everything? Have we discussed hormones already? Because I hormones, like what is the function of cortisol or insulin, or because I don't think so we have discussed those. Let's discuss the no, the hormones, like the like for female characteristics, male characteristics, and for like the general blood glucose level. I think so we haven't. Let's discuss those first, because this topic is more vast as compared to this reproduction one. Okay, let's discuss endocrine system. Okay, endo mean inside. So in this system, this is the type of system in which the secretions or the whatever is produced by this system remains inside the blood. Okay, and it is transported through blood. Though this system show the slow response as compared to the nervous system, but it has a long lasting effect. Nervous system, and it is long lived, let's say. Okay, let's talk about the general hormones. Let me give you a table and then we'll discuss that instead of writing each in detail. Okay, the very first one is thyroid. Okay, it's present in your neck, in the neck region. Okay, so what does it do? It maintains the or it regulates the metabolism. The person who have this like issue related to thyroid, they are they are usually overweight because their body cannot have a normal metabolic react or like rate. So it slows down the metabolism if its level is high. Okay. Second thing is adrenaline. Okay, this is a response generated in fight or flight condition. Like if we if we get a fear of something, or if there is a like a sudden change in the external environment, so your body produces adrenaline. So what are the effects of adrenaline? The very first effect is that it increases the heart rate. Your heart rate would increase, it will start beating faster. The second effect is it increases the breathing rate. Okay, since this hormone is termed as fight or flight hormone, it means it is preparing your body for some for some flight or fight. It means you need more energy, and that energy comes from glucose. So it produces glucagon that convert glycogen into glucose, and this glucose gives you energy. Okay, so that you if you want to run, or if you like want to do some activity, so your body would be able to produce that response or to produce that certain amount of energy. Number 4, it dilates the pupil. So your pupil get wider so that you can see around yourselves and where to run. Okay, in case of fight. Clear? Okay. The next one is the cortisol. Cortisol is also released by adrenal gland. Okay, sorry, I haven't mentioned where they are present. These adrenal glands are present on the kidney. Okay, there is a yellow part on the kidney. Yes, there is a yellow part of the on the kidney. Let me show you the diagram. I have the diagram for this one as well. The parts. Okay. These adrenal glands are present on kidney here. Okay. The cortisol and the adrenaline are released from the adrenal gland. Okay, it has a similar function that it increases like your response in fight or flight responses. Second thing, it increases the metabolism and the immune response. So the person who has the cortisol issue also have the weight problem, like they may be obese or are overweight. Okay. The next one is let's skip these two and move to insulin and glycogen. Insulin and glycogen are released by pancreas. So pancreas are part of digestive system as well, right? So there are two type of cells. One are called as the alpha cells and other are called as beta cells. So these produces insulin and glycogen. Okay. So what happen in diabetes? I'm giving you an example. In case of diabetes, the person is unable to produce insulin. Have you ever met a person who's diabetic? Okay. So it happens with age as well, or something, sometimes genetic as well. So that person usually have a very high insulin, no, sorry, glucose level if they are taking meal, but their glucose level also drops very quickly. Now, what is the function of insulin? Insulin, when you take in some carbohydrate food, I'm talking about specifically carbohydrate, so it is converted into glucose, right? We have read this. The starch is converted into glucose. Okay. Then the extra glucose is converted into glycogen, and this glycogen is stored in muscles for further like use if we need it. Okay? But it lowers the, or it gets the body glucose level back to its normal. If insulin is absent, that case is known as diabetes. Clear? Okay. The function of glucagon is opposite. In case of fasting, when some people is fasting, that person is not taking in food or due to some other conditions, so the glycogen converts back into glucose to provide or to maintain the glucose level of blood. You need to maintain the glucose level of the blood, otherwise there are people whose blood glucose level like drops and they get faint, because your body is not capable of producing energy. Your body needs glucose for aerobic respiration to produce energy. Okay? So if glucose is not there, your body won't be able to produce energy. So these two hormones, they act oppositely, and the insulin convert glucose into glycogen while glucagon convert glycogen into glucose. Okay, let's move to these two hormones. So these are basically the sex related hormones. Estrogen is released by women mostly, and it helps in the reproductive development and production of egg and everything. The testosterone is basically related to the reproductive development of men. Okay? Okay. So these are the certain hormones that we need to like know. Okay, there is one very important system of our body which is, or a function of our body, which is homeostasis. Homeostasis mean the maintenance. Okay, homeo means same, and status mean the status. Let's say it's the maintenance of, oh sorry my spellings, internal environment of the body. Okay, like I've told you that our body needs to maintain a certain glucose level. So mostly we have the general, it's 80 to 120. Have you ever seen glucometer? The normal glucose level. No, you haven't heard of you, because you have told me that you haven't ever met the diabetic person. Okay. So we have a very small instrument called as the glucometer. So we just prick our finger and then take the blood and put a drop on the like a very chip. Okay, you might have seen this process. So the glucometer gives a value of like how much glucose is present in your blood. Okay, so our body needs to maintain the glucose level, and yes, we can check it off and on. Okay, now what happens? What is like? How does our body, or how does our body maintain this level? Glucose level. Okay. There is one process known as the negative feedback, which works to maintain the glucose level. Okay. So the name indicate negative feedback. So when your, let's say, let's make a cycle. When the glucose increases, what will happen? Your body will release insulin, right? And the glucose level comes to normal. Is it so? Okay. But when this glucose level become normal, this glucose is used up. Glucose get used up. Okay. So it means the Glucose level is going to drop. So when this glucose level drop, your body would release glucagon, okay, to increase the glucose level. When the glucose level comes to its normal value, now the production of glucagon stop. This stopping is referring to negative feedback. That when the insulin production stop, it is the negative feedback of the insulin given by insulin that you need to stop the production of insulin. The message is sent to pancreas, stop the production of insulin because the glucose level come back to its normal. But when the level drops, now the message is sent to pancreas to release glucagon. When the level come back to its normal, so the message is again sent to pancreas to stop the production of glucagon. Okay? This process is known as the negative feedback. Okay, let me give you the. Okay, I can give. No, the explanation is enough. I'll share this document with you. You don't have to worry. I'll provide all the like notes. Okay. So what do you think? Let's compare it with the nervous system. Do you think it's better than nervous system? Or if you think so, why do you think it's better than nervous system? Though we have okay, we discussed this in the very start that the where it's written, yeah, it's slow as compared to the nervous system. So yes, nervous system has some benefit or advantage over it. What is that advantage? What do you think? Okay, so sometimes your body needs to have a quick response, right? Like if something hit your eye needs to be closed, right? And this is done by your nervous system. The system has to be very quick. Slow mean, okay. For example, mm, you have some like exam tension, like you are tense because your exams are near. So there would be release of stress hormone in your body. You don't need to panic for like really quick. Okay, you panic in your exam during your exam time, but it's a slow response, but it would remain there in your body for a longer time. You would be stressed for a longer time. Okay, if it's done by the nervous response, that tension or stress would be gone in minutes or seconds. Clear? Okay. um, okay, I'm giving you two questions. Just read this and tell me the answers. One is this. I guess we need to study that reproductive system now. You'll be able to do this. Okay? I guess you can answer it really quick. C and D, correct. Okay. Let's move to the reproductive system. Okay, but before moving to reproductive system, let's have like we need to have a good understanding of few terms. Okay. What are gametes? Any idea? What are gametes? Okay, okay. Gametes are produced or these are referred as the reproductive cells, and they have half number of chromosomes as compared to normal cells. Okay, the example is egg in females and sperm cells in males. Okay, okay. Second important is their parts. Ovary. Ovary is, let's say, the female reproductive organ, and testis is the male reproductive organ. Okay. Then there is a term known as fertilization. Fertilization is the fusion or combining of male and female gamete. Okay, so these are the general terms that you must know. Okay, I'm just explaining this with the help of diagram. Diagram is quite simple. A normal body cell, a double number of chromosomes. Okay, we have a pair of chromosome, 23 pairs of chromosome. When the gametes are formed, each would have a single. Okay, mean if we human have 46 chromosomes, so the reproductive cells would have 23 chromosomes. Okay, okay. Every organism have a certain number of chromosome. The chromosome number of human is 46. The chromosome number of chimpanzee is 48. Okay, every species has a different number of chromosome. Okay, what are chromosomes? Chromosomes are basically inside the nucleus there is DNA. This DNA condensed together to form a structure called as chromosome. So in a human cell there are 23 pairs. This one is pair. Okay, so there are 23 pairs in the human cell. Got it now, or still confused? Okay, so during the formation of reproductive cell, these pairs get separate. Okay, so each reproductive cell would have half number of chromosomes. Like if there are 46 chromosomes in total, the reproductive cell would have 23 only, the half of it. Okay, okay. Now why they should have? So that when they combine in fertilization, so there would be 46 chromosomes in the offspring. So the child would have the same number of chromosomes as parents or child, the children. The term we use is offspring. The children is called as, or child is called as um, offspring. Okay, this is the general thing that you should know. Let's talk about the female reproductive system. So I've told you that the main organ is ovary. Okay, okay. The main organ is ovary, which releases estrogen. Okay, the main function of this ovary is to uh, is to produce an egg or develop an egg. Produce an egg. So let's take an example of hen. The hen body can produce an egg, and this egg is produced by ovary. Okay, okay. The next thing is the fallopian tubes. Okay, with these ovaries are connected the fallopian tubes. Okay, what is the function of these fallopian tubes? These fallopian tubes carry the egg from ovary to the next part. It's a system, right? So it would have different organs. The next organ is uterus. Okay, uterus is the place where the baby is formed or baby is kept. Okay, so the fallopian tubes took the egg from ovary to the uterus. Okay, after this, there would be development of a baby. Okay, when the period, that gestation period, mean the period that is required for the development of a baby, is completed, it's called as gestation period. Then the baby move out of the body through a cervix. It's an opening of a uterus. Okay, so I've told you few terms. One is ovary, fallopian tube, uterus, and then cervix. Okay. Oh, let's talk about the whole cycle, because here we have to discuss more hormones. One is the estrogen that I've already told you, that estrogen produces egg in the body. Okay, it like matures. Okay, there are four hormones involved. One is estrogen. I guess we need to stop here. This is enough because it's already 8. Sorry, it's already 7:30, or I guess we don't have enough time to have the complete, because there are four hormones involved and each hormone have a separate like function. So let's discuss the cycle in the next lecture. Okay, do you have any question? Sorry, sorry, is testosterone? Oh, testosterone is a hormone, yes. So it's basically involved in the production of male characteristics like the beard or the heavy voice. Sorry. Y- okay, both have some amount, but one, or you can say male has more testosterone and the female have more estrogen. Okay, okay, so this is all for today. Thank you so much.